What's happening, everybody? It's your man, damednydc. Two mics up. We back. Man, we coming strong because, man, tonight's guest is going to be joining me on the other mic. Talking about talent. I'm talking about pure talent. Everybody got talent, right? Everybody think they're a comedian. Everybody think they're a basketball player. They're a piano player, whatever. Even some of us even think we got divine talent. I'll tell you right now tonight, y'all. I got divine talent. I got an amazing individual that's doing some great work in my backyard. We right here in the DMV. For all y'all in the DMV who don't know, y'all gonna want to go ahead and make sure y'all tune in, get all her information. And the young lady that I'm talking about, I'm gonna bring her to the stage, to the other mic. It's Miss Bianca Guzman. Bianca, how you doing tonight, girl?
I am blessed. Thank you. How are you?
Look, I'm blessed too. We in tune and everything. I see we rocking those versions of red, so we must be on the same sync. Hey, that's how, what I'm saying. That's how we doing it tonight. But before we really get into, the tease of your divine talent, I always like to start out and really and talk about who is Bianca. Not the entrepreneur, not the business owner, but who is Bianca? Take a moment. Talk to us about that.
Thank you for having me tonight, Damon. Oh my gosh, that's such a big question. Bianca is a mom before anything. Like, that is my pride and joy as being a mother, and I am a daughter, and I am a woman of God, and I am just blessed, and I'm here. I believe that I have a big purpose, and I'm here to serve, and I just enjoy connecting with people, like personal level. I'm really shy, believe it or not, but I just enjoy like soaking up good energy and just embracing the beauty of life, and that's who I am.
So, and she's not lying. I had the pleasure of meeting Bianca through another friend, through another network that at the time I was a part of, and we met. And she's right. Is this something about her aura, her energy? And I talk about this sometimes. When you're trying to connect and network with people, you have to be your body language and that energy has to be open so people can receive it. And we kind of, I won't say we hit it off, but you kind of get that feel for somebody like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can rock with her, I can rock with him. So that's how it was, like, from the first time we met. And then we kind of go a little further full circle, now being in this network, being a part of the Virginia Black Business Directory and really getting to know each other a little bit more. I had a chance to really dive in behind scenes on, when we're talking about divine talent. Bianca, her inspiration is the creation of the Divine Talent Connection. Bianca, what was that inspiration for you to really push forward and start your journey with that?
Oh man, it wasn't just one thing. It was really my experiences, and then just out of my desire to serve. So I did it, and the timing of it was crazy. It was in the height of the pandemic, but it was rooted in the fact that I felt like, and not even that I felt, I knew that I had a greater purpose, and that wasn't always valued through other people. And so who values you more than yourself, right? Like,
True.
Who's going to hustle like you, who's going to value you, and then just kind of aligning everything, like my love for business, my love for HR, and then just it was something. It was definitely a leap of faith, because I most definitely did not have a backup plan, and I'm so glad that I did what I did. But it also, my story in particular, really shows the power of networking, and especially for people like me, that I've battled anxiety, I've battled depression, and it hasn't been easy, but I see the benefits and the fruits of planting that are coming from planting those seeds.
And I want to sidetrack for a second, because I think it's really important And you and I talked about some things off air without really even knowing your own personal journey. But when you talk about, anxiety and depression, and then really taking that leap, you know, I'm really big on, if one person watching this can hear, like, how did you really battle through that personal side and bubble? Because I think it's important for somebody watching this, maybe going through the same thing. And if we can hear someone else's story, it's really beneficial. And if you don't mind me asking, like, what did you do to kind of help keep you focused and moving forward?
So I always say that it was two things, and those two things are my faith
Mm-hmm.
and then my network, because I have a really strong support system, and it's not one that is necessarily my blood related family, right? It's the
Yeah.
family that I have built over these last couple years through my business. And that's what I meant when I created the name Divine Talent Connection. Like, these are connections that I feel very blessed to have. They're connections that I believe are intentional, and it may not necessarily be by me.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that is a higher power, whatever your faith is, whatever that may be, whether it's the universe or God. For me, it's a combination of both. I believe that every connection that I make that turns into something is meaningful. And so when I have those moments of I need strength, I lean on my faith for that. And I lean
Mm-hmm.
on the promises of the word and the laws of the universe. But then I also have a support system, which, a little backstory, the one in particular that comes to mind is Jessica Ortiz.
Yes.
Jessica is phenomenal. And it's so crazy because I met her a few years ago. And this is just to show you the power of divine talent and connections. Jessica came to our chapter and I mentored her. From there, I introduced her to the directory, and then she met you. And then because of the directory, I now have my office building, right? So
Yeah.
she met you. She had the opportunity to participate in the expo, and then that led to things. Then she brought people back to our chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just this big, like, I call it like a ball of love, but it's
Yeah.
opportunities and blessings. And when I have those moments, she has now gone from being someone that I mentored to someone that is now my vice president in the chapter, but
Okay.
she's also like a friend and family, right? So that's what I mean by divine talent connection. And she's great at what she does, but she's also an amazing human. And
Yeah.
I'm like a big emotional person.
I don't want to make you cry, but I can hear it in your voice, and I know, I've had the pleasure to have Jessica on, here as well, and talk about her show a bit. And you're 100% right. She's phenomenal. She's phenomenal at what she does. She's a great person. I had the, like I said, had the pleasure to get to know her, see her grow and prosper. I just love to be able to see that, you guys have taken your connection and have taken it to a whole new level, to where it's not even friends anymore, you're family. And that's the beauty of it. So with that, then I want to ask then too, so overall every day, because I think most of us as business owners, we have some type of mission or vision that we want to try to, reach and achieve every day. And I hear, with your faith and your friends, but are there any other missions or visions that you see with divine talent that you still maybe haven't tapped into yet, or you're going to tap into? I see. So, talk about that.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny because we talk about this pretty often in the chapter, just from me going as the education coordinator, then to the president, and just what does next level mean for my
Mhm.
business and me as an individual. And I think I love teaching. I always wanted to be a teacher when I was little, and that's obviously what I do as a coach, but I want to do that on a larger scale.
Mhm.
So I'm going to start getting into more speaking engagements and training engagements. Instead of just one-to-one coaching, it'll be on a larger scale, like thinking like TED Talks and things like that. But I want to do them in the in the community, but I'm also planning on doing a podcast, and I'm so excited about it, and I'm going into it like, again, another huge leap of faith, but I think it's going to be amazing. So we've
Hey,
got lots of things in the works.
I love that. See, I always say to people, from your mouth to God's ear. If you
Yeah,
don't put it out there, it's not gonna happen.
that's
So,
right.
and I believe that, in anything, podcasting, whatever it is, saying, same lane. Getting out in front of people, speaking in front of people, it can be scary, when you first start. But anything, and I've gotten to put this is like riding a bike now. Whether it be sitting here, you know, in my office or my studio or being out in public now. I was never really afraid to talk. Never really had that problem. But you
Right.
become more comfortable, engaging in a room and
Right.
engaging in a space. And this has just kind of helped me take my natural me, smooth it out a little bit,
Right.
put a little something on it. But you'll be successful, because you have the personality for it. But you did talk about something too as being a coach, as an HR professional, really, I guess, if you will. That was your background, turning into this entrepreneur. So let's say I'm a new client and I'm coming up, I'm like, Bianca, I need some help, girl. Like my things is a mess, I'm falling apart. Like what does it look like when you're working with a client to help them build, their business from that side or from your side?
So there are two sides of my business, and the first side we typically explore is the business coaching side
Mm-hmm.
because I believe that that's always going to be the foundational piece for everyone that comes to me. And with that, I use a model that's called the GROW model. So a lot of people are familiar with the SWOT analysis. It's
Mm-hmm.
very similar, but it puts more of like a positive spin on it because I'm very big on being intentional and believing that there's power in our words. So I try to have everything that I'm doing have a really positive outlook, but we go through and look at what are your current circumstances? Where are you in your business? What are some concerns that you may have? And then we kind of do a deep dive into what are your goals? What is the direction that you're looking to go to? What are the challenges that you're facing? And then how are we going to get you there? But most importantly, how am I, as your coach, going to hold you accountable?
Mm-hmm.
And so I am a little bit different from where I do have that background in human resources. So in the back of my head, I'm always looking at things like, okay, is this person going to grow? Are they going to scale? So looking at things like, do we need to automate? And that's kind of when we get into the business planning phase.
Right.
So there's two sides that I blend together, but either side, whether we're looking at the HR side or we're looking at the business coaching side, I'm always going to look at your mindset first because I believe that everything starts with mindset. And if you're having challenges with your mindset, whether you know it or not, that's something that's going to ultimately impact your business later on down the line. So that's the first thing that we go through is like your mindset. And then how are you managing your day? So like your productivity, what does that look like? Your time management. And then we start to get into like your branding and marketing. So that's not the HR side, that's the business side of things.
Right. So I'm just curious to know, just from your experience and what you find, because me and my professional. So I'm a planner. I'm a logistics person. So
Mhm.
everything to me has to have a plan, has a time, a schedule. Dealing with, let's say, new startups and business owners,
Right.
like how bad? Like how I'm just gotta ask, like how bad? Like do you just like sometimes look at it and go, oh Lord, I mean, like how bad are many startups like when they first come in? They just want to just go out and just get things done. Like nothing else, everything else goes to the
Right.
wind, right? Like how bad is it?
It's not as bad as you would think.
Okay.
I think most of the time it's just you don't know what you don't know, right?
All right.
And so
Good
the
point.
point of having a business coach is they've got like the ultimate vision, right? But I'm able to see things from like a bird's eye view. And because I've been doing this for about 10 years now, I'm able to look at it and kind of notice the things that they may not know. A lot of what I do is connecting people, which
Hmm.
is divine talent connection, right? And
Right.
that's the beauty of networking, but then also providing them with resources. And I think oftentimes in our communities, whether it's underprivileged communities, whatever that may look like, we just don't have the resources
Yeah.
or we don't know that they're out there for
Right.
us. So I think that's a majority of it. And
Mm.
then the funding, like
Mm.
it always comes back to funding and
Yeah.
how do you grow a business and the typical challenges of being a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the beauty of having a network that you can lean on and really leverage. So I mean, I have seen some crazy scenarios, but that's also the thing that I know they're out there, but I'm often aligned with businesses that kind of have their head on straight. So I don't
Right.
get those.
Yeah, and that's good. I mean that's a plus. That's a plus if you actually have that networking where you're kind of being introduced to or engaged with business owners who are somewhat
Right.
in tune with what's going on. Now I'm curious to know though, because from the HR side, because
Mhm.
that's got to be the scariest side. Like when you do you have to just like kind of pull some people aside like, hey, look, we need to talk. Like
Yeah.
this right here is a no. Like,
Yeah.
do you run into that? Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's probably, I don't want to say the more interesting side, but the more interesting side. Do you find that to be the?
It is, and a lot of people don't really know what goes into HR, right? Like, I
Hmm.
think people hear it, and sometimes you may have interacted with the HR person at your organization, but once you like actually get into HR, it's a lot, and it's a very, I kind of honestly, when people would come into my office, I would always say that it's like being a therapist, because you're typically going to have one of two people that come in to work with you as an HR consultant. It's either someone that is not happy because something has happened and they're having to let someone go, or they're really excited because they're starting something new, or they're getting ready to hire. So it's like one of the two perspectives.
Hmm.
And so they typically, again, like, they'll hop on a discovery call with me and kind of just let it all out. And then we do that analysis and an audit to see what is it that is happening that they need support with. So, but yeah, definitely the HR side is where you get all the tea.
I about to say, I know, I can only imagine some of the things you probably say to yourself, like, "Whoa, girl, I don't know if they ready for what I got to tell them, how they gonna have to handle this." But
And well, and that's the thing too. Sometimes I look and I'm like, I'm really like in HR, and like I said, I'm really sensitive. I'm really emotional.
uh-huh.
And so I think where some people could look at that as a flaw, because you have to like let people go, you have to have those tough conversations. We do a lot of conflict resolution. And so you have to be able to handle those not so easy challenges in the backside of things. But I think the beauty of that is to have someone that can come in and handle those challenges, but that has an empathetic heart. I always tell people I don't hire for skill, I hire for heart, because I can teach you how to have all
How
the
to
skills I need you to have, but I can't teach you to have a good heart. So that's really important to me. And I think one of the things that kind of makes me stand out is both a business coach and an HR consultant. And you're getting two in one. Hello.
Hello. I love that though, because myself, even as a hiring manager and being in a position to hire, I've always been able. I have a lot of my colleagues, and man, like, no, this one had this, and it's like,
Mhm.
I don't need all of that. Like, I want the person that's going to come in that wants to learn,
Yep.
that is open to learning something new, but
Right.
they have an aura about them, like you said, like, sometimes when you've been doing something for so long, a
Mhm.
person will come in, oh, well, this is how we did at my last job. I was there for 20 years. As soon as I hear that, I'm like, okay, this person's going to be a problem because they're already stuck in that, and this is not their last job, right? So it's hard, and they're not as empathetic and willing to change. New person, scratch, like I said, I can train them, I can teach them. They're going to come in, they're going to be the best employee. And everybody's looking at me like every month, like, yo, how are your numbers and how are you looking so great? Oh, yeah, you the one with the all-star team, right? Yeah, you the get with the 25 year and the 20. I said, yeah, all mine is 2, 3, 4, 5. And look, we just running circles around you. And you know what I'm saying? It does really, what I mean? I'm not saying that everybody should do this, but
Right.
I get what you're saying because they come in with a passion and joy, and then like the empathetic side. I treat my team like my family.
Right.
We all deal with different problems. We all have life. We even talked about like tonight's little snafu. Things happen, right? Okay, no big deal. We just move on. But you talked about a couple of things also. Are there any other programs per se that if someone were to reach out to you today that you also that maybe you didn't share?
It broke up for a second. Any
Oh,
other
I'm sorry.
programs?
Yeah. Do you have any other programs that you provide or you share, when you're dealing with a client, or that maybe someone who's watching today, maybe can reach out or go online and find out about, to then get in contact with you?
Yes. So I also have tons of digital products because I love the digital world. Ebooks, I have workbooks, and then I have courses.
Mhm.
So occasionally I will do workshops. We're going to be bringing that back this month. I have a self-love workshop coming up that it's actually self-love 2.0. We did self-love last year, but so we have workshops, and I typically will do one workshop a month that's for free, just because I want to be able to make sure that everyone in the community is able to access my services. And we will hopefully be having that turn into a monthly thing where we have group coaching available, because the price point for that is a little bit more affordable for smaller businesses.
Yeah.
And then we've got some things in the works that we haven't quite ironed out yet, but they're going to be coming soon. So definitely something to try to touch each different area, whether you're in like government or you're a subcontractor, a small business, nonprofit. We've got a little bit of everything.
See, this is what I'm talking about, y'all. Yeah, I told you, divine talent. Get your act together. You
Right.
know, if I'm not, you get your act together. If you're a business owner or whatever, and you're looking for someone, we're providing this, and this is right here in our own backyard. I'm telling you, DMV, y'all need to turn your lights on. There's so much talent here. There's so much talent here, that we have in the DMV. You know, Bianca's talking about, the whole gambit, nonprofits, free resources, seminars, events that you can come out and participate in. You need to get your act together, y'all. Put it on your calendar, reach out to Bianca, Divine Talent, and really make this happen, make this connection. Bianca, it makes me want to ask too. You talk about networks, and you're talking about networks. We were both, well, you still are, and in the network, we won't talk about now. But like, how else has the VABBD? Because I do want to talk about the VABBD for a short second, because I, as a member in a board of director, I use the directory religiously. How have you found your connections within the VABBD to be for you? Like, have they been positive? Have they been influential? Have they been moving? Have there been some that you just, because I know I've had a couple that I just sit there and go, help me. But I mean, for the most part, what has that experience been like for you? Because I really think people should also understand that this is here for us in the DMV to use as another network service. So how's that been for you?
I literally tell everyone that I know about this. And it's like, so I joined both networks that I'm in around the same time. And I think that there is value in both, but in different ways.
Yeah.
So for me, the network that I'm the president of, that is more like my opportunity to serve and give back and educate. And then it's more focused on referrals.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been great for me, and I love it. And I think it's helped me grow as a leader. And on the flip side of things, what VABBD has done, which I love just as more, it's had more of those, I want to say like visual benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So I've connected with people, and that has rewarded me. Like that, as I mentioned earlier, when did I meet? I met Nisha, I think it was last year, and we immediately connected on something totally unrelated. And then we kind of lost touch, and then we reconnected, and immediately it was like, oh my gosh, it was a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I say things sometimes and I am just playing, but then they really manifest. And so I was like, I'm going to be in this building one day, and because it's a beautiful building, and I totally was not saying that. And I already had an office around the corner. And I'll say within a couple weeks, I met the owner of this building. I was able to get a beautiful suite right down the hall from her. Mm-hmm. It was my own office from where I was in another office previously, like a shared suite. And so that was powerful for me, because to be able to be in this building at such an early stage of this particular business, that was huge. It was affordable for my budget. And then just the connections that we've made, seeing what Jess was able to accomplish with the VABBD.
Mm-hmm.
Every client that I have, I always recommend them because VABBD is something that's affordable, but the people are genuine. And that's what I look for when you're networking. It's not, we talk about this all the time, serving and giving to others
Mm-hmm.
before you take. That's really important to me. People that are genuine, that are here to support you, they're going to talk
That's
about you
right.
when you're not in rooms. That's really, that means something to me. And so being able to be part of something where we're all coming together and we're like-minded and here to support each other, it's been amazing. And everyone that I have met has been really supportive. It's always a good time. And I think that's needed when we're in business because it's like we're in our own little world.
Mm-hmm.
You need to it's like it takes a village, it takes a tribe, same thing with your business. And so I
Right.
can't say enough amazing things about them. And I just met with them again today. And so it's like the gift that keeps on giving.
I love it, and that's why I had to ask. Was I do agree with you. And that's what my background, where I come from, this platform, serving others, elevating others, and that was the same reason why I fell in love with the VABBD and this mission, where we're hand in hand, side by side. And I think, like I said, it's important um, that you do that. And that's why I'm proud and thankful to have you come on and sit here and talk with me tonight and share your story and your talent, your divine talent, with everyone. And we're coming to the close of this amazing conversation, but I do want to ask, what else, or what's next? Because I know there's got to be, we talked about the podcast. Is there something hidden in the pocket that you can talk about? Because if not, just tell me no, and we'll go. Just tell me no.
Now you got me thinking like, oh, what can I cook up next?
Hey,
It hasn't formulated into my mind yet, but I know it's coming because I'm always into something. And I think that's another thing that is a woman and as a mother and as a business owner, I think it's important. I always felt different when I was growing up because I wanted to do so many different things. And I think it's important for the youth to know I'm so passionate about youth and prison reform, people that most people will look at and sometimes forget about, right? Or not really understand what they're going through.
yeah.
I think it's important to know like it's okay to do different things. It's okay to love different things. It's okay to not have it all figured out when you're a teen or
Mhm.
you're a young adult or when you're in, re-entering society. It's okay to figure it out. It's okay to try different things. And so I constantly, like when I went to college, I started out as a computer science major. I changed my major to criminal justice. I was going to go to law school. Then I went back to school for business management. Then I went back again for human resources. And so when I would put that on applications and I would put that on my resume, people would be like, you've done all these different things. Like, how does that make sense? And for me, I'm like, it doesn't have to make sense for you because the journey
Right.
that I'm on, my purpose, my path, it has made total complete sense.
Yeah.
And so when people come to me now, they're able to benefit from the wealth of knowledge that I have in so many different things. So
So
it's
look here, yo. Look here. All Bianca said was,
okay.
"That's how we gonna end this one today,
Look
y'all."
at that.
Bianca just said, "Period," to end the story. Bianca, yes, period. Says, "Thank you so much. I really appreciate you sitting here again. Sharing your story, your talents. Look, ladies and gentlemen, go out and follow and support. We're going to put all of Bianca's, her IG, her website, and all her information in the show notes. So make sure you go out and you follow her and you go support her. If you're a new business owner and you need some help and you're here in the DMV, nonprofit, whatever it may be, and you're looking for some help, make sure you reach out to Bianca. She is the CEO of Divine Talent Connection. And that's all I can say. Thank you again, Bianca. I'll be in touch with you soon. And
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen, you know how I do at this time as we get ready to go ahead and wrap up another amazing conversation. I'm your man, Dame DMYDC. This is Two Mics Up. This is not even podcast no more. It's not even a network show. This is an experience. Get your life together. Get on board with the experience. Follow us on social media, IG, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Two Mics Up. You can also follow us season 5 This is season 5. Mogul TV Network. You know what I mean? Go ahead and get it on your Amazon and Roku TV devices, or you can follow it online at themoguls.tv. And like I always do at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wish you all the best, and may you all stay safe, stay blessed. Mike's out.
Thank you.
007.